Okay, alright, in this series of videos that I'm going to do, it's going to be about the progress of my tomato plants being grown in total pine bark. The pieces are about 3/4 to 1 inch, or even slightly above that, squares or rectangles. And I find it interesting to be growing in this. I've only done one tomato in bark, the pink egg tomato, which I've shown in my previous videos. And yes, I do find it interesting, and which is why I'm doing more tomatoes. Tomatoes that haven't grown before. Most of them are tomatoes that haven't grown before. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, the progress every couple of weeks, or maybe even every week, as to how they're growing, how they're managing. And and so far, right now I'm growing them in regular dirt, in regular soil, and as you can see, they're only about 5 inches tall, and I'm going to wait till they're about 7 or 8 inches or something around that size before I put them in 5-gallon buckets. And I'm going to start filling them halfway through until they finally, they come out the bucket, which is about 14 inches tall. And I think that's about it. But I also want to point out something, though. Some people might ask me in the future, how are the plants going to get nutrients? So what I use is the granular fertilizer. In my case, I use Osmocote granular feed, and that works pretty well. And also another thing, some people might be wondering about the pH of the pine bark, which is usually a bit acidic. It's a little too acidic, I think, for general things. So what I do is I grab some garden lime, and per every gallon of pine bark, I put one teaspoon of garden lime, dolomitic garden lime, and that should level out the pH so you can grow tomatoes. And I think that's about it. I'm going to be showing you my tomatoes, in a small stage, and showing you, as they get larger and larger and bear fruit. Another thing is these tomatoes should be bearing fruit around the time when they're not supposed to. I mean, I'm testing it to see, how much heat they can stand here in Florida. So hopefully they bear fruit for me in the summer, which is right now, up until August, early September. So that'll be interesting. Hopefully it works out. I have a feeling that growing in pine bark helps the roots stay a bit cooler. Also, because of the size, 1 inch cubes. Hopefully that keeps the roots a bit cooler and actually helps it bear fruit. In a hotter climate than regular soil, because I think that keeps the roots warmer, because it's so compact in there, and, keeping the heat inside. I mean, that might be good for cold areas, but here we don't need that, because it just gets way hot. I'm in zone 10B, so hopefully I'm right about that. I mean, I can't really test that theory, because I'm not growing one tomato in bark and another tomato in soil. So, but I might do that next year. I will write down my results to compare it from year to year, and probably next year I will do a side-to-side comparison. And that's about it. So, thank you very much.